NASA has told us this morning that an asteroid, it's about the size of a London bus, expected to come within 2,100 miles of Earth this week. Could be the closest for, 300 years. Well, joining me now is former NASA astronaut Bruce Melnick. He spent more than 300 hours in space. How cool is that? Now works as an ambassador from the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. We're going to be all right, aren't we, with this astronaut? You'll fix it. It'll be fine.
Have you seen the movie Don't Look Up?
Yes. Yes, we have.
It's not going to be like that.
It's not going to be like that.
It's not going to be like that.
It's going to be fine, isn't it?
It's going to be fine. If we had an experiment launch last year of this satellite called DART that actually went and hit the Dimorphos asteroid. And that asteroid was 180 meters across, a lot bigger than a London bus.
Indeed.
And it actually diverted that asteroid. So we're pretty prepared for anything like that.
It's amazing how we catch up with sci-fi and movies and all of that. Now, you're in a very elite group. A very elite group. What an amazing experience to have seen the Earth. I mean, that must be... It's got to change you, hasn't it? It has to change you quite profoundly.
It really does. My first view of the Earth was... It actually made me make a mistake on the first job I had in space. I was supposed to take a picture of the external tank right after the space shuttle got off it. And I was so mesmerized at looking at this beautiful planet for the first time that I forgot to take the pictures. And my commander said, "Bruce, why aren't you taking pictures?" And I said, "What? Oh, the tank." And then by the time I took pictures, it was late.
Wow, that's extra. And you had real tenacity because you had this dream that you wanted to be an astronaut. And it's very difficult, as we know, to get in. But you tried and tried and tried again. You were not going to give up.
Absolutely. I started applying in 1977 when they first looked for astronauts to fly in the space shuttle while they were still building it. And I applied for 10 years. I applied 6 times to the Astronaut Corps before they finally accepted me in 1987. So
that just shows you, if you've got a dream, do not be put off at the first hurdle. Have tenacity.
Exactly.
And keep going. And really now you work as an ambassador for the Kennedy Space Center. That's an amazing thing to do because it's so important that we get that message out there of just how important it is to explore, to find out just to find out the big questions, isn't it? It's the massive big questions we want answers to.
Well, but being the ambassador for the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, I mean, it's the best job a former astronaut or a veteran astronaut can have because I'm still living it. I'm still, getting to reminisce about it. Yeah. I get to see my colleagues every day at the Visitor Complex. We have an astronaut there every day for the people to meet and talk to. I mean, it's just wonderful. It's a great edutainment place to go. It
really is, and it must be so fantastic for you, especially when it's young boys and girls who are so enthused, because I guess that's part of your job is to kind of like get that enthusiasm and answer all their questions. And, there's future NASA employees there, maybe not future astronauts. There might be, you don't know.
They may be, but I was 11 years old. I was in the 6th grade when Alan Shepard first flew. And that's when I first thought, wow, what a great thing that would be to be an astronaut. And so he was my inspiration. And then when these young people come to the visitor complex, they get to see an astronaut, talk to him, get to see rockets that have actually flown in space, get to, see Atlantis that went to space 33 times. I mean, it's fun to see the smile on the young people's faces.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to go there myself and be sort of put through astronaut training. It was an amazing experience, and again, I just felt like a kid. I did the zero thing. I know that's nothing to you, but I did that zero gravity flight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, honestly, Bruce, I was like a child. I was like a toddler. I was so excited.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun?
It's so fun.
And you only get to do it for like 20 seconds.
I know,
at
it's
a
not
time,
like you.
But we got to do it for days at a time.
Oh, days on end, which is amazing. Well, look, Artemis, and I know you've got Artemis there.
We do.
That is fantastic. So that's going to be how we get some sort of... Because what we've got to do in order to get to Mars is to have some sort of base on the moon. Is that how it's going to work? Right.
Correct. And so we already flew Artemis once, the first test flight. Next year, we're going to fly Artemis with people on board. And they're actually, after they circle the Earth a few times, they're going to do a lap around the moon. And then the year after that, we're going to land on the moon again. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, that's... I'm so glad that I'm going to be alive to see that.
Yes.
I haven't been a 10-year-old and experienced the first time with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. It's going to be amazing. And what do you think? I mean, how long is it going to be, do you reckon, until we might actually get a person on Mars?
I think it could be within the next 20 or 30 years.
Wow.
I don't think it's that far off.
Right.
Once we establish that lunar base and once we establish the gateway around the moon where we can bring a rocket and refuel it, that's the hard part, is leaving Earth's gravity. But if we can launch or operate from the moon where there's a lot less, 1/6 the gravity, it's a lot easier to get to Mars from there.
Of course. It's exciting, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't it exciting? And for people that don't get it and maybe say, oh, come on, why are we spending all this money, or why are we doing this? I always say, why would you not? But what would you say to people who might think, no, but why are we, we've got enough problems here, is what people always say to you, isn't it?
Well, we do, but, I mean, we've always been explorers. Where did we come from? Where are we going? Why are we here? I mean, we didn't just stay on this continent. We went across the Atlantic Ocean and discovered America. I mean, we're explorers, and that's in our heart. And, oh, by the way, what we find out and the technology it takes to do these things better every human being on the planet.
Absolutely. Bruce, you know things. Do you think that there might be something else out there? I would love to think that there is. And do you think it would be a bit arrogant for us to think we're the only life forms, sentient beings in this big universe of ours?
I think it's impossible that it's not. When you look at every star that we can see from Earth, and every one of those stars probably has a planet around it.
Yeah.
And then you see what the Hubble Space Telescope has shown us with all the different galaxies that are out there. And then now we have the James Webb Telescope that's gone beyond that, and the trillions and trillions of galaxies out there with the trillions and trillions of stars around in each galaxy, and they all have planets on them. To think that we are the only planet, this little blue marble that has living beings on it, is pretty far-fetched. I don't think it can happen. They're out there.
I think they are out there. I just hope they're friendly. I hope they meet someone like you, and you can talk to them and sort of share experiences and all that. Isn't that beautiful?
It sure is.
No borders, no nothing. It's just beautiful.
And that's one of the things I really experienced up there is that some of the things that are going on the surface of the Earth, some of them are unpleasant, some of them are hazardous, like fires and hurricanes and those sorts of things. But when you get up and look back at Earth, all those things are beautiful. They all contribute some kind of beauty to the surface of the planet. So if you were an alien coming to Earth for the first time, you would just think it's total paradise and there could be nothing wrong on that surface of the Earth.
Oh, Bruce, you're fabulous. You really are. The next time I come to NASA, we have to go and talk for hours and hours and hours. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
It's been great to talk to you. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
And just to see that, I think I've said this before, every world leader should go up and look at the Earth. It would change everything. It would change everything.
Well, Lorraine, you need to come back to the visitor complex and see our new exhibit Gateway that you haven't seen yet.
It
wasn't there the last time you were there. So come back and see us, and I'll be glad to show you around.
Yay! It's a date. It's still to come.